Hello guys, welcome to another video. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Content creating is not easy, but we are pushing it. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's your girl Halimoti Sadia, and with me is my very good friend, my baby girl, my journalist, my fashion designer.
Alright, my head is swelling.
Chidinma. Joanne Easy.
It's Joan, Sadia.
Okay, Joan Easy.
Thank you.
Joanne.
Hi guys, it's nice to be here.
I'm so happy. I'm so happy that we are here. I'm so happy we're doing this video together.
Yeah, same here.
Thank you so much for honoring my my invitation.
You're welcome.
My unofficial.
You didn't even write letter. But anyways, anything for you.
Yeah. So yeah, let's get right into this video. I think from the title we would understand where we're coming from. Today we decided to talk about parental influence over peer influence. I mean, before we even move on, I was thinking about something and I'm like, I kind of feel like I'm not in the right position to actually talk about this topic. But we are talking from our own point of view and what we think. I mean, we're not yet parents though, but as children to parents, how would we view certain things if our parents' influence and if is higher than our peer influence? And again, even aspiring parents that are enjoying or is enjoying this particular video, it's again good to see the Gen Z part of your children. So thank you so much. If you are new here, you are welcome. Kindly click the subscribe button, turn on your post notification, like, share, comment, and yeah, thank you for supporting me. Yeah, I want to appreciate you for coming. I mean, there's no other person to do this with than you. Thank you so much.
Well, you do this thing with Tinubu soon.
Amen. So yeah, talking about parental influence over peer influence. I mean, we are in a particular situation, or we are in a particular age where a lot of children would, should I use the word children, or I should use a lot of children, adults, I don't know, would actually choose their friends over their parents. And personally, I feel like it's advisable most times to start, they said the young shall grow. So I think it's advisable to start from a very, very young age with our children. And there are a lot of people out there, Sha, that you want to groom the way you want it to be. But maybe before I have anything to say, what do you think about parental influence? What do you think about peer influence? And maybe we can use our personal life as an example.
Okay, parental influence is, will I just say the normal English for it, or a very simple definition of it is when your parents have the control over you, they can tell you what to do and you obey and all that. They are in charge of everything that you do. Now, and they can affect your decisions. Okay, they can actually tell you that, okay, you can do this, it will be better if you do this, and all that. Then while peer group influence is also the same thing, when your friends around you can influence your decisions, can influence your actions, trying to make you do things even though it's not of your own will. You just see yourself doing it maybe because you see them prospering in it, or they give you reasons why you should go into it. Okay, so let me just say that parental influence, I can't really say which is stronger, but maybe on the course of the end of the discussion we'll get to know which is stronger.
Yeah.
But I feel that everything still falls back to background. how a parent is being groomed, or someone that grew to become a parent, the background of that particular person.
Yeah.
So how the person's parents treated him, there's a high rate of how the person will retaliate when he or she starts bearing kids. So everything, first of all, still falls back to background. And then secondly, in the aspect of parental influence, we have, according to national health, we see warmth, we see acceptance, we see when they chastise you, we see when they reject you, we see when they police you, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whatever you see, you'll be in your room like this and your mom will just open the door, bam. She'll just look at you. What is she looking for? We don't know. So there are a lot of things that they do, and most importantly is the fact that they can influence you to do the right thing, or most importantly is about your parents making you do the right thing.
Yeah.
Then coming to the aspect of peer group influence, I feel these guys, I still believe, or there's a saying that show me your friend and I'll tell you who you are. But sometimes it doesn't really work that way, because I know of some people that they are friends with people that take drugs, but they don't take the drugs. It's possible.
I mean, there's another angle to it, because they said birds of the same feathers, they flock together.
Yeah.
So most times I think it's very, very difficult to be amongst people that
do some certain ill
Yes.
habits, and you don't
and
do
you are
it.
not part of it.
Well, I can say that the rate is very, very low.
And probably, again, that's what I think it boils down to: parental influence.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, due to the influence your parents have on you, you are disciplined. You've gotten to a point where you are disciplined enough to say no to certain things, even if you are keeping certain companies around you.
Yeah. And I think also it also boils down to intentionality of that particular person.
Yeah.
Because some people will go through the rightful track records of training, and if they want to, like, picking away one, there's this saying, picking away one spoil goes spoil. So some of them will be like, okay, I've really gone through, my parents have taught me the rightful path to follow, but it's now on me now to say, okay, should I do this or I shouldn't do this? So finally, it still boils down to the decision of that particular person to either make his life or to mar his life.
Yeah, thank you so much. To add to just what she said, again, personally, I feel like, as parents, I mean, I'm not a parent though.
Yeah,
I'm
you'll
not
soon
yet,
be.
but we'll soon be aspiring ones. But as parents, I feel like the age where we need to take control of our kids is from a very, very young age. I mean, 0 to probably their middle age, and then when they go to school, they can't escape friends. They must always be around this different kind of friends and all of that, from different backgrounds. But where you start grooming them I'm advising now, should be from age 0 to whenever they can now make their own decision. And they should always be comfortable. I mean, African parents are on this table.
Honestly, like, this is another thing we need to talk about. But last I still give kudos to them. I think in my office we talked about corporal punishment, and how corporal punishment deals with caning, flogging, disgracing, shaming you on the streets,
but they did
and all that.
though.
So you see African parents most especially doing a lot of things like.
So are we going to say the African parenting is better than the Western parenting?
Well, I feel it's in collaboration, because if there are periods where I don't believe in torturing of the child, like inflicting pain on the child, but I believe that there are other ways to discipline a child. Do you understand? You can actually tell the child to, or seize something from the child, and maybe let's say the phone is distracting the child, you could actually seize the phone for maybe a day or 2 days and all that, so the child will understand that, okay, this phone is actually distracting me, I don't do what my mom asked me to do. So there are different ways you can actually punish a child, but let's still come back to parenting, the whole influence and all that.
I mean, this is an unverified statistics though, but if we look at the rates at which, I don't know, I feel this is something that I don't know, I feel like I'm throwing a bullet at myself, but if you look at parenting the African way and parenting the Western way, we find out that the way our African parents were trained, the way our African parents trained us currently, I'm not talking about the current generation to come, it's in a way...
That's Gen Alpha.
Okay. It's in a way, like, I feel like it's okay. I mean, I can see a lot of discipline in our kind of parenting. There could be what's the word? I'm trying to think of a word. Again, I don't know. It goes both ways. It could be like a traumatic experience. It could be something that after everything you are like, I'm glad that my mom trained me or my dad trained me the way he trained me. Because if not that, I mean, a lot of people would say that if my mom had trained me the other way or my parent had trained me the other way, I would have ended up another...
Like, I think the fear of an African parent is the beginning of wisdom.
It's just like...
If you don't fear your mom or your dad, like, I feel there are some... Like, well, let's date back to university days.
Okay.
Like, there are some things that I wanted to do. My mom was not there with me. I don't know, I'm always emphasizing on mom. Kudos to mothers. I know I'll also be... And I feel I'm going to be more... I'm going to be a disciplinarian.
We're talking from a place of mothers.
Yes. So there were things that I couldn't do in the tertiary institution because in as much as my mom was not there, the fear of, okay, what if I go for this night party now? I'm not saying night party is bad, but at least there are, according to the Bible, there is time for everything.
Yes.
You get. So you went to school to read and to focus and of course maybe to get a first class or that, I don't know. But you are going for parties. Is that what they sent you to school to go and do?
I mean, when I was in school though, my mom was actually not seeing me. Yeah. But there are places that I would want to go to, and in my mind I'm like, if my mom knows I'm going to this place, how would she react? How would she feel? So sometimes I put her feelings into consideration, even without her being there. Again, when I was in secondary school, there were times when we were like, I can't wait to leave this house, I can't wait to leave this house. The way they are doing is this and that. But when you eventually leave, you just, at the end of the day, you just realize that no, these people, they actually mean well for you. But again, it still brings us back to the fact that our generation, the way technology, modernization and all of that is evolving. So as children that are being given birth to, are being brought up in this generation. Because you were trained in the 90s to always punish children, doesn't mean the same method would be applicable to this generation. This generation, God, this is well. If you slap a child today, they might end up slapping you back.
Let me just share a little story. I went to, it's already Hamatan, depending on when this video is being released. Okay, so it's Hamatan, and you know how female skin can be. So you have to grease your skin.
Hamatan winter.
Yeah. Okay, so you have to make sure that your skin is greased, so that it will still be looking like milk. Do you understand? So I now say, okay, let me go and buy this particular Vaseline product, and on my way going, guess what I saw? Okay, I don't know who was at fault because I didn't really follow the story from the beginning. But the next thing I heard was, come and slap me now, come and slap me. And I turned, and guess what I saw? I saw a boy that, okay, even though I was not there when they gave birth to him, but I attended his naming ceremony. That was how bad it was, because that was like my former street. So I was just looking at the boy, and he was the one raising his voice at. I was like, okay, let me try to see who he's shouting at. And then the owner of the car came down, and behold, it was an elderly person. And this young boy that was there when they were giving him name, he was just ranting that they don't, in pidgin, sorry, let me just use the pidgin, they don't born you well, that kind of thing, fit drum, fit slap me, that kind of thing. And he kept on ranting and ranting. So I was trying to decipher what's going on, what is actually the bone of contention here. So I discovered that the man that drove, he came in with his car, and he did not horn, but he said he flashed his headlamp, his headlamp light on them, so to show them that, okay, I'm coming. But according to the man, he said he horned, but the guy and his friends, they were like, they did not horn. So me, I was like, okay, it's proper for him to horn, to tell them that, okay, move aside from where you are standing because I'm coming there to park my car or something, or I have to follow through that route.
Yeah.
Maybe he didn't do that, but the people around me, they were like, we didn't hear any horn, and me, my mind was not there, so I couldn't even remember if there was a horn or not. But the man was still saying that, okay, even though I did not horn, let's assume I did not horn, but he's saying he did. But you saw the headlamp of a car, like the light of a car coming towards you.
Yeah.
What are you supposed to do? Are you not supposed to leave that particular place? So what actually triggered my like anger was, I didn't really say anything, but I saw how that child was talking to an adult in a very disrespectful way, to an extent that he pulled off his shirt and wanted to start a physical combat, like fight with someone who is old enough to be his father. So at that point I was like, okay, where are our values? Where are our morals?
I mean, at the end of the day, some words that a lot of people would always use is, after all, nobody they pay me, they feed me.
Yeah, you don't feed me.
They pay my nothing. You don't pay my bills.
And funny enough, they said even for him to react that way outside, that means he's doing something similar
at home.
At home,
because they say training begins from
charity begins at home,
from the house.
Yeah. So
again, this is still was like, it's as if we're going back and back and back.
And you know what I didn't even finish the story. And you know what his friends were doing? Guy, calm down, leave the guy. they were, you know when you're telling somebody to calm down and he's still gingering, Mona homie,
hyping him.
They were not saying, don't worry, calm down, no mind, nobody this one will go, they fight with that kind of thing. So I was just looking at his friends, I was like, wow, you cannot even tell your friend that, okay, you're not supposed to be arguing with somebody like this. Maybe they didn't want to say it because they are of the same age, they are of the same peer and all that. Maybe they don't want the guy now to start saying, oh, you're supposed to be on my side and you're siding someone else and all that. So, I don't know.
At the end of the day though, the question still remains parental influence over
peer group
influence. I'm asking Joanne, which one do you think is should be better?
Well, I feel definitely, most importantly, your parents can never deceive you. That's one thing I want you to know. They might come in a very harsh way, or in a way that it will convey the message in another way that you might not understand it, or you feel that they are maltreating you. I know many times I had to ask my mommy, are you sure you gave birth to me? Because it's not that she used iron on me or anything, but the whole discipline was much. But I can tell the story today. Like, I can walk into any organization with that confidence.
You are well trained.
And I'm well trained, you get. So I'll just say, first of all, your parents can never deceive you. So I still stand that parental influence should still supersede peer group influence.
Yes.
But I will still say that choose your friends wisely. Okay? So that when they are I think
choose your friends according to your values.
Exactly. And one thing I know is that whatever you as a human being, you can decipher between good and bad. So you even know when somebody is telling you this thing, like when the person is advising you, you know that okay, this is a very good advice and this is a bad advice. Sometimes we just need to be reminded of who we are. That's why you need a good friend or good circle of friends. You don't need the whole community to be around you. You just need few important people like my friend Sadia that always tells me the truth. So that's what I stand.
Am I blunt?
Yeah, she's very blunt. And I'm blunt too. Yeah, so that's it for me.
So again, to add to what she said, like, I'm totally agreeing with you.
Thank you.
Parental influence should supersede peer influence. You can't take away the value. Like, I learned a lot of things from Joanne. It might not be things that you say physically or things that you say to me, but things that like I see and I want to emulate, and I'm like, okay, I can see how it's going, and I see that okay, this certain behaviors or certain characters that you are exhibiting, there are things that I'm seeing myself. Now, a very good example again is a friend of mine, Somto. Somto, we are watching it. Shout out to you. Somto, when I was in the University 100 level, and then Somto was talking to me about, like, I was like, okay, what's going on? And she was like, they annoyed her at home. And I'm like, they annoyed you at home? Why didn't you speak up? Why didn't you tell them that what they did to you, you don't like it?
Say your mind.
And she was like, she will just calm down and be looking. I say, you will just calm down and be looking. And then I went home that semester, and then my mom, as usual,
out there,
And I was like, okay, let me calm down and be looking. Let me see what will happen. And then I actually calmed down and I was looking.
And she was surprised.
And she was surprised.
So yeah, you've been a tyrant.
And I'm like, this thing is working, though. And I'll not lie, since then, it's working. And sincerely, I started applying that
Strategy.
that strategy, and it was working. Sincerely, I feel like the complaints at home reduced. I mean, that's another positive peer influence on a child and on me. So a place where, as parents, even as children, there are times when sometimes, I mean, during when I'm always watching a lot of videos, and for people that do a lot of wrongs, and when you ask them, why did you do this thing, they'll say, I didn't have a father in my life, my mom was not there, and all of that. I mean, you can't take away those traumas, but I want to believe that we are individuals. Like, we are individuals, and we owe ourselves that responsibility to do the right thing. I mean, most times we shouldn't always blame certain situations, in as much as we can't take away all of these things. But if anything goes wrong, we suffer for these things first before it is even extended to the society, to our loved ones, to people around us. So let's try our possible best to always, or to find ourselves doing the right thing, making sense of things we do, and try not to shift blames. This is a voiceover. Thank you so much for watching to this point. Let's keep watching. Love you. Personally, I think I learned one or two as an aspiring mother. I learned one or two as an aspiring mother.
Please don't be harsh on your kids. Like, don't be harsh on your kids.
Trust
Be
me.
open to them.
Trust.
Ladies and boys, everybody have feelings. Sometimes try to follow them up.
Children have feelings as well.
At a very young age, try to ask them, who did you like?
Mommy and daddy, please don't train this generation the way you were trained. It will go the other way.
You know, just mix it. Let it just be mixed.
Yes, and again, I mean, I cannot complete this video without talking about God. I mean, with the help of God, you can also. There's a particular woman in my church, and since that day it stopped. And then we're asking questions like, okay, you know, as teenage adolescents and all of that, you get to a certain stage where a lot of things, like, you need to handle them with care. And then parents were asking, what exactly are we going to do? How are we going to help these children? Because it takes the grace of God for a lot of adolescents to come out from their adolescent age without a scar. Now, a particular woman in my church, she was like, as parents, in as much as the Bible said, train up your child in the way he should grow, and when he grows, he will not depart from it. In as much as we are inculcating certain trainings, we should also leave them at the mercy of God. I mean, if your child knows God for themselves, they would be able to, even when you are not there, they would be able to do the right thing at the end of the day. So, again, if you watch this point, you try though. Thank you so much for watching to this point. The game now is, if you are to choose like a self-care, for yourself, number one, if you have to choose a self-care for me, self-care aside shopping, you know, self-care can come in different form. Self-care can be skin care routine. I don't want to give you any answer, but if you are asked that, what self-care do you think you deserve and will make you happy, and what self-care do you think Halima deserves and will make her happy, what will you choose?
Okay, for myself, self-care, clothes. Then for you, confirm kitchen, well set, with pots, utensils, the food different, in fact, and your recipe well placed in a very nice place for you. I think that's what you need.
So what do you think is my greatest? What do you think is my greatest wish?
Your greatest
in
wish
terms of the kitchen. What do you think is my greatest wish? I don't know if I've told you this, but I pray you get it. What do you think? I don't think I've told you. But I want you to try.
Your greatest wish
in the kitchen, oh.
In the kitchen.
Yes. What do you think I want to? Okay, let me give you an next. What do you think I want to own?
Okay.
In my kitchen.
Your kitchen. What do you want to own?
Yeah. Jay, you have to get it, please.
I think you want to own
in my kitchen, you know.
Can I have like 3 slots? Like, can I mention like 3 things?
Okay, well,
then
okay,
like,
no
out
problem.
of the 3, one
should be correct.
Yeah.
I might want to own a pot, a gas cooker, and all of that. So, what do you think I want to own in my kitchen? Something that I'm always looking forward to. God, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay, I'll mention 3 things, right?
Mention 3.
A blender.
Okay.
Different sizes of pots.
Okay.
And a fridge.
Okay.
You
tried. Thank you. I mean, that's something that is in everybody's kitchen.
Okay, what you want to own?
What do you think is my greatest wish to own in my kitchen?
Recipe.
Okay, that's new though. I mean, it was at the back of my mind, but let's just cut it. I want to own a pantry.
A what?
A pantry, like a customized pantry.
What's pantry?
Like where you keep your food. Like there's a label for the rice, there's a label for the beans, there's a label for pot, there's a label for
how am I supposed to get that? Like, how am I supposed to get that?
The way I've envisioned my pantry.
Well, how much is it? Send me your account details.
No problem. Odogu Juan.
That's my name.
Oh, Mom, my dream kitchen, God, I pray by God's grace to still be here to see how everything turned out. Do you have any question for me? I won't call it a day.
Well, I don't really have a question, but I just want to say a very big thank you for bringing me on the spot.
Thank you
at your YouTube channel. And I can't wait. Your friends are so nice. And thank you so much. I love you. I love you so much. And I wish you well.
Thank you.
Gracias.
Bye.
Bye, guys.